The hotel ballroom was decorated in corporate elegance, balloon arches in company colors, a banner reading "Congratulations Director Thompson," and enough champagne to float a yacht. Dad's promotion party had drawn at least 200 people, co-workers, friends, extended family, all celebrating his rise to Director of Operations. I arrived late, slipping in through the side entrance in my usual outfit, dark jeans, a simple blouse, comfortable flats. The contrast with the room full of cocktail dresses and business suits was immediate. "There you are." My sister Jasmine materialized at my elbow, resplendent in designer everything. "We've been calling you for an hour." I texted that I'd be late. Had to finish some work. "On a Saturday? God, Kylie, you need to get a life." She grabbed my arm. "Come on, Dad wants to see you." She dragged me through the crowd to where Dad held court near the stage, Mom beside him beaming with pride. My brother Marcus was there too, along with Uncle Paul and Aunt Michelle. Finally, Dad's voice boomed. "Everyone, my youngest daughter Kylie has graced us with her presence." Polite applause. A few chuckles at my casual attire. "Sorry I'm late," I said. "Congratulations on the promotion, Dad." "Thank you, sweetheart. Though I wish you'd dressed for the occasion." He gestured at my jeans. "This is a professional event. I came straight from work." "From that tech startup?" Marcus laughed. "What do they even pay you at those places? Like $50,000. Something like that." "Well, your father just got a $60,000 raise," Mom said proudly. "Plus stock options. He's making $185,000 a year now." "That's great, Dad." "Come with us," Jasmine said, pulling me toward a private room off the main ballroom. "Family meeting." Inside the smaller room, Dad shut the door. The entire family was there. Mom, Dad, Marcus with his wife Elena, Jasmine with her fiancé Derek, Uncle Paul, Aunt Michelle, and my cousin Trevor. "What's going on?" I asked. Dad's smile faded. "We need to talk about something serious." "Sit down." I sat. "Your mother and I have been doing some financial planning," Dad began. "With my new salary, we want to make some investments. Smart investments that will benefit the whole family." "Okay. We're buying a lake house," Mom said excitedly. "A beautiful 5-bedroom property in New Hampshire. The whole family can use it. Vacations, holidays, summer weekends." "That sounds nice." "It's $1.2 million, Marcus added. "We're all chipping in." My stomach dropped. "All of us." "Family investment," Uncle Paul said. "Paul and Michelle are putting in $150,000. Marcus and Elena are contributing $200,000. Jasmine and Derek are doing $175,000. And your mother and I are putting in $400,000, Dad finished. Which leaves $275,000. They were all looking at me. "You want me to contribute $275,000? "It's your share," Jasmine said. "Everyone else is paying based on their household income and ability. You're single, no kids, minimal expenses." "I don't have $275,000. "Don't lie," Marcus said sharply. "You've been working for 10 years. You live in a studio apartment, you drive a beat-up Honda. Where's all your money going?" "Savings, investments, retirement." "Well, liquidate some of it," Dad said. "This is a family investment. A legacy property that will appreciate in value. I can't just liquidate my retirement accounts. There are penalties." "Then use your emergency fund," Mom said. "Or take out a loan. We need to close in 30 days or we lose the property." "Why didn't you discuss this with everyone before making an offer?" "We did discuss it," Aunt Michelle said. "With everyone who matters. We assumed you'd be on board." "You assumed I had $275,000 lying around?" "You're 32 years old with no dependents," Derek said. "You should have at least that much saved." I looked around the room at their expectant faces. Family members I'd known my whole life, now looking at me like I was an ATM. "I need to think about it." "There's nothing to think about." Dad's voice rose. "This is family. You either contribute your share, or you're not part of this family anymore. You're threatening to disown me over a lake house? I'm asking you to prioritize family over whatever selfish reasons you have for hoarding your money." "Hoarding? I'm not hoarding anything." "Then prove it," Marcus said. "Transfer the money by Monday or accept that you're choosing to exclude yourself from this family." My hands were shaking. I need some air. I walked out of the room and straight to the hotel bar, ordering a water and trying to calm my racing heart. My phone buzzed, a text from my CFO. Board meeting moved to Monday 9 a.m. Can you make it? I texted back, I'll be there. Another text, this time from my company's lawyer. Quarterly filing approved. Your signature needed by Tuesday. I was staring at my phone when Jasmine found me. Stop being difficult, she hissed. Just agree to pay your share. I don't have $275,000 in liquid assets I can access immediately. Then borrow it. Take out a personal loan. Liquidate some stocks. She grabbed my arm. Do you understand what's happening here? Dad is giving you an ultimatum. Either your family or you're not. Over money. Over commitment. Over showing you value this family more than your bank balance. I pulled my arm free. I need to show Dad something. Can you get everyone back in that room in 10 minutes? Why? Just do it. Please. She looked suspicious but nodded. Fine. 10 minutes. I went to my car and grabbed my laptop from the trunk. By the time I returned, the family was reassembled in the private room looking annoyed. Well, Dad demanded. Are you going to do the right thing? I want to show you something first. I opened my laptop and pulled up my banking dashboard. You all seem to have assumptions about my finances. I think we should clear those up. We don't need to see your bank account. Mom started. Yes, you do. Because you're making decisions based on completely false information. I turned the laptop so they could see the screen. This is my personal checking account. Current balance, $47,000. See? Marcus said triumphantly. You don't even have the money. This is my savings account. Balance, $89,000. So you do have it. Jasmine said. This is my emergency fund. Balance, $125,000. And this is my investment account. Stocks, bonds, index funds. Current value, $340,000. The room went quiet. So you have over $500,000, Dad said slowly. And you're refusing to contribute? I'm not finished. I pulled up another screen. This is my retirement account. Balance, $580,000. Mom gasped. And these are my business accounts. I pulled up the dashboard for Stream Tech Solutions, the company I'd co-founded 8 years ago. Business checking, $2.3 million. Business savings, $8.7 million. Investment portfolio, $23 million. Marcus stood up. What the hell is that? That's my company, Stream Tech Solutions. We provide cloud security software for enterprise clients. You own a company? Elena asked weakly. I co-founded it with 2 partners from MIT. I own 40% of the company. We did $67 million in revenue last year. 67 million? Uncle Paul's voice cracked. Our Series C funding round valued the company at $180 million. My stake is worth approximately $72 million. The silence in the room was absolute. But you work at a startup, Jasmine stammered. Making $50,000. I said something like that when Marcus asked. I didn't confirm his assumption. I pulled up my tax return. My actual compensation last year was $420,000 in salary, plus $1.8 million in dividends and stock distributions. Total income, $2.2 million. Derek was staring at the screen like it might bite him. You made $2 million last year? Before taxes, yes. And you live in a studio apartment? Aunt Michelle asked. I live in a 900-square-foot condo in a building I own. The building has 20 units. I live in one and rent the others. Annual rental income, approximately $480,000. You own an apartment building? Mom looked like she might faint. I own 4 apartment buildings actually. Combined value, about $15 million with $6 million in outstanding mortgages. Net equity, $9 million. I pulled up another document. This is my total net worth statement, prepared by my wealth management team at Goldman Sachs. Assets, $94.7 million. Liabilities, $6.2 million. Net worth, $88.5 million. Dad sat down heavily. $88 million. Give or take, depending on market fluctuations. How? Trevor finally found his voice. How is this possible? I studied computer science at MIT. Started coding in high school. Got a job at Google right out of college making $120,000. Saved aggressively, invested in real estate, learned about software development and cloud security. Saw a gap in the market and filled it. Why didn't you tell us? Mom asked, tears starting. Because of this. Because the moment you knew I had money, I'd stop being Kylie and start being a piggy bank to break open. That's not fair, Dad started. Isn't it? You just threatened to disown me for not handing over $275,000. You didn't ask about my finances, my ability to pay, whether I even wanted to invest in a lake house. You just demanded money and threatened consequences if I didn't comply. We didn't know you were rich. Jasmine said. Exactly. You thought I was struggling, barely getting by. And your response was to demand I empty my emergency fund for your vacation property. Marcus found his anger. So you've been sitting on $90 million while watching us struggle? Struggle? You drive a $90,000 BMW. Jasmine's engagement ring cost $40,000. Dad, you just got promoted to a $185,000 a year job. What struggle? You could have helped us. Elena said. Helped you do what? Buy bigger houses? More expensive cars? You're not struggling. You're living beyond your means and expecting me to fund the difference. I pulled up another document on my laptop. Speaking of funding the difference, let's talk about the money you've already taken from me. What are you talking about? Dad asked warily. 3 years ago you asked to borrow $15,000 for a medical emergency. I transferred it the same day. You never paid it back. That was a gift, Mom started. You called it a loan. 2 years ago, Marcus, you needed $25,000 for your business. Called it a temporary cash flow issue. Never repaid. Marcus's face reddened. Jasmine, 18 months ago, you needed $30,000 for your wedding venue deposit. Said you'd pay me back after the wedding. That was 6 months ago. I've been busy. Last year, Uncle Paul, you needed $20,000 for Trevor's tuition. Emergency, you said. You'd pay me back in 3 months. I had unexpected expenses. And Dad, 6 months ago you needed $50,000 for the down payment on Mom's new car. You said it was a loan. Dad looked away. In total, I've loaned this family $140,000 over the past 3 years. Not one penny has been repaid. And now you're demanding another $275,000. We didn't know you could afford it. Mom said desperately. Would that have mattered? If you'd known I was worth $90 million, would you have asked for more or less? The silence was answer enough. Let me show you one more thing. I pulled up my company's website. Stream Tech Solutions. Take a look at the About Us page. I turned the laptop. On the screen was a photo of me and my 2 co-founders at a tech conference, standing in front of a banner with our company logo. That's you, Jasmine whispered. That's me. And if you scroll down, you'll see we're featured in Forbes, TechCrunch, and The Wall Street Journal. There are interviews, profiles, press releases. This isn't a secret. It's public information. We didn't know, Mom started. You didn't look. You saw what you wanted to see. The studio apartment, the old Honda, the struggling youngest daughter. You never asked about my work, my company, my life. You just made assumptions and then demanded money based on those assumptions. Trevor pulled out his phone, typing rapidly. Holy shit. There's a whole Wikipedia page. Kylie Thompson, co-founder and CTO of Stream Tech Solutions, valued at $180 million. Stream Tech is going public next year, I said quietly. The IPO will probably value the company at over $500 million. My stake will be worth approximately $200 million. Before taxes. Jesus Christ, Marcus breathed. Now about the lake house. I closed my laptop. I'm not contributing $275,000. Dad's face fell. However, I'll make you an offer. I'll buy the entire property. $1.2 million cash, close in 2 weeks. The house will be mine and I'll allow family members to use it, with my permission on my terms, paying market rate rental fees during peak season. You want to charge us rent? Jasmine's voice was shrill. I want to establish boundaries. You can use the house, but it won't be a free-for-all. There will be rules, schedules, and yes, fees during July and August when I could otherwise rent it for $15,000 a week. That's not a family property, Uncle Paul protested. Neither is what you were proposing. You were creating a timeshare with unequal contributions and unclear governance. I'm offering a cleaner solution. We don't want your charity, Dad said stiffly. It's not charity. It's a business proposition. I buy the house, you get to use it, everyone knows where they stand. And if we say no? Marcus challenged. Then you figure out how to come up with $275,000 without me. But I'm guessing that's going to be difficult, since you were all counting on my contribution to make the numbers work. The room fell silent. I watched them exchange glances, doing mental math, realizing the deal was falling apart without my money. Can we discuss this privately? Mom asked. Just the immediate family? Sure. I'll be at the bar. I left them to their discussion and returned to the bar, ordering a real drink this time. My phone buzzed. My business partner just saw the news. Tesla wants to discuss acquisition. Preliminary offer. $600 million. Thoughts? I texted back, let's talk Monday. 20 minutes later, Jasmine found me. We need to talk. All of us. Back in the private room, the atmosphere had shifted. Dad looked older, Mom's eyes were red from crying, Marcus couldn't meet my gaze. We've been talking, Dad began slowly. About a lot of things. About how we've treated you. About the assumptions we made. And we're sorry. We're so incredibly sorry. His voice cracked. We've spent years dismissing you, making fun of your choices, assuming you were less than. When all along you were building an empire. I wasn't building an empire. I was building a life. We know that now, Mom said softly. Or we're beginning to understand it. Kylie, can I ask you something? Sure. Why do you live the way you do? If you have $90 million, why the small apartment? The old car? The simple clothes? I thought about how to answer. Because those things don't matter to me. I don't need a mansion to be happy. I don't need a luxury car to feel successful. I built StreamTech because I saw a problem I could solve, not because I wanted to get rich. The money is a side effect of doing work I love. Elena said, you could have jets, mansions, designer clothes. I could, I replied. But I don't want them. They don't bring happiness, just attention from people who care about money, not relationships. Dad flinched. We've been those people, he admitted. Yes. Can you forgive us? I don't know. Can you change? Jasmine spoke softly. We want to try. But Kylie, we need help. We're drowning in debt. Marcus listed theirs, $380,000. Jasmine, $290,000. Dad, $240,000. Paul and Michelle, $180,000. Trevor, $95,000. I added it up. $1.2 million. The same as the lake house you wanted me to buy. They looked ashamed. I'll pay it all, I said. No strings, except 3 years of financial counseling. No more money requests. Only advice. Break the rule, you pay me back with interest and we're done. They were stunned. Why would you do this after how we treated you? Dad asked. Because you're my family. But this is the last bailout. Learn or lose me. They agreed. 1 year later. The lake house was my retreat. Dad visited, sitting beside me on the dock. The counselor says we've made progress, he said. Debt's gone. We're saving. Marcus's business is working. Jasmine downsized. Even Paul is planning for retirement. Good. We're also in therapy. Facing why we cared more about money than you. He sighed. I'm sorry, Kylie. For all of it. For not valuing you. For treating you like less because you lived simply. When did you realize we only cared about your money? He asked. The first time you asked for $15,000 without asking about me. That must have hurt. It did. But I hoped you'd change. Are you seeing me now? I'm trying. And I'm proud of you. Not for the money but because you're brilliant, principled, and generous. He asked about the IPO. Projected $650 million. My stake. $260 million. He whistled. What will you do? Same as always. Invest wisely. Live simply. Work on problems that matter. Maybe start a foundation. We sat in silence watching the sunset. The family wants Thanksgiving here, Dad said. Under the house rules? Yes. We'll respect your space. Then yes. He paused before leaving. I love you, Kylie. Not for your money. Just you. I love you too, Dad. Later, my partner texted, IPO roadshow is set. Ready. I typed back, ready. I was about to be worth $250 million. But sitting on that dock watching the stars, I knew I already had everything that mattered. Money was just numbers. Real wealth was family learning to love without conditions.